everybody, it's Amy Rich with amyrich.net. I am here today to share with you another paper pumpkin alternate project, but I want you to open your mind to the possibilities that this project can bring your creativity. It'll be so much fun to play with this card layout and this fun fold. So enjoy and have fun. First of all, can we talk about how adorable the box is? Oh my goodness, the September 2022 Paper Pumpkin Kit came in this really adorable box. And I love plaids and stripes and checks, and this is just so cute. And we are using these items from the kit to make our alternate project. So we've got a piece of the plaid wrap, and actually, let me show you these cute boxes that are made with the supplies in the kit. So they're just little treat boxes, but today we're going to make a card. And as per usual, we are going to do a fun fold card. So thank you for joining me here. We, like I said, are going to use these products for our project today. So we've got the trick or treat stamp and the spider stamp, which both come from the little stamp set in the kit. But let me just tell you right now, there are so many great possibilities for this card outside the realm of Paper Pumpkin or Halloween. So I'm hoping that you're watching and those creative juices are flowing as you watch. And then we've got some of the cutouts. So we've got the spider web, and the ghost, and the little scallop circle. Of course, the plaid that I told you about, some of the adhesive back stars. And then the ink pad, which is little Orchid Oasis. We are actually adding a black ink pad just for a little bit of something on today's project. So you'll need a black ink pad, but the rest basically are from your kit. I am going to use my stamp and seal just a little bit on this project, but I am also using the tear and tape from inside the kit as well. All right, so let's get started by bringing in our trimmer. So this piece of the plaid wrap has some score lines in it already so that it wraps around a box. It is 3 inches wide, and that's how wide we want it. And then we want it at 2 3/8 of an inch. So it did not cut. Hold on here. 2 3/8. I see what I did. I mixed up my scoring blade and my cutting blade. There we go. All right, so we've got our 2 3/8, 3 inches by 2 3/8. I try to say the length first and then the height. And then you'll notice if you flip it around, you'll see some score lines in here. Just for my own purposes, I'm going to cut off those score lines. And then I'm going to cut another piece. So this is throwaway. I'm going to cut another piece that is 2 3/8. So in the end, you're going to have 2 pieces that are 3 by 2 3/8, just like this. Then here are the supplies that I cut extra for this project. So I've got some Orchid Oasis cardstock, and I'll tell you about the measurements as we go through the project. And then some of our in color designer series paper in Orchid Oasis. And then some black rectangles, a white rectangle, and then 3 little window sheets. And like I said, I'll tell you sizes as we go, but we're going to start with the black. So we're going to add these plaid pieces to basic black cardstock that measures 3 1/8 by 2 1/2. So we've got 3 1/8, 2 1/2 on both of these pieces. So we're just going to layer our plaids onto there. I love the way a thin black border just sets off a busy piece of designer series paper, or in this case, paper that was meant to use as a wrap. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside and bring in all of these other little pieces here. Let's start with our Orchid Oasis. You need 2 pieces of that measure 5 1/2 by 4 7/8. And then you're going to score them at 4 1/4 so that it's the size of a card front, standard card front, I would say, for most of the cards that we make. And then that score line, I'm just going to fold nice and tight with my bone folder. And we'll do that to both of them. Then I'm going to use one of these. And actually, I'm just going to use the little glue dots that come in the kit. And I'm going to put them onto our window sheets. Our little window sheets, I have 2 pieces that measure 1/2 inch wide by 3 inches long. You can see those 2 pieces there, hopefully. And we're going to put 2 glue dots on the end, just one end of each of these pieces. These are 3/4 by 3 inches, and this one is 3/4 by 2.5 inches. So there's one that's just a little bit shorter, and that's for no other reason than aesthetics on this card. All right, so once we have those glue dots on there, now we're going to take those papers off the back, and we're going to make sure to fold up this folded edge here. And I am going to leave about a 3/4 of an inch space to the left-hand side on the flap and adhere that window sheet so that it is sticking up there on that flap. And then we're going to take the other longer one, the 3-inch one. So we've got both of the 3-inch pieces right away. And that one is going to go right in the middle. And we don't have to worry about spacing too much. Just make sure there's some space on both edges. So now that we've got the 3-inch pieces on, I'm going to take the 2.5-inch piece, and that will go over here to this side. Now, one other note that I will make as you're creating this is just leave a tiny little space at the bottom of those window sheets. And that, again, is so that we can just do a little bit of hiding of the window sheets so that they don't stick out. All right, so next we're going to add, that flap is up. We're going to add window sheets, or not window sheets, glue dots to the outsides of the window sheets. So for the first one, we're going to put one in each corner, just like we did when we adhered them down to the flap down here at the bottom. So I'm going to do one in each corner there, and then I'm going to go over to the shorter one and do one in each corner over here like this. Hopefully you can see that. And then this middle one, I'm going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to put one in the upper left corner and then one in the middle. I'm going to leave that upper right corner empty, and you'll see why as we go. Then I'm going to remove all the little backings of these glue dots. I know if you use just the mini glue dots from our catalog, they're maybe a little easier to use, but it's good to use up the supplies in the kit too. So we've exposed all of those. Now we're going to bring in our shapes. So we're going to start with the ghost, and we're going to adhere the ghost, just making sure it doesn't go up over the top of our card, and then just adhering that tightly to our window sheet. And you can see now it's starting to come together. Next, we're going to take the spider web and do the same thing. So it's going to go right down here so that it's about halfway up the spider web on the back. That window sheet comes about halfway. And then here at the top, we're going to put our spider coming down, and I'm going to leave that upper right corner of the window sheet exposed, which is why I didn't want to put a glue dot there. So again, make sure that your spider doesn't go up over the top of the edge of the card. Cute, right? And now you're like, now what do we do? What's happening here? So now we bring in this other piece, and we're going to take Terran tape, and I'm going to start by putting Terran tape right along the fold over the top of those window sheets. That will just help hold the window sheets tightly in place. And so it comes right close to that edge. And then we'll put another strip close to the top edge of that little flap at the bottom. So then it's got two, double the adhesive there, and it'll keep it nice and tight. Then we're going to remove those backings. And then we're going to take this flap right here and adhere that to this flap down here. So we're just going to flip this over. And we want those folded edges to line up. So I'm going to carefully lay down that edge. And then once it's where I want it, then I'll just burnish it with my fingers. So now when you open up the card, here's the front. And when you open up the card, those will pop up like that, which is so cute. Then we'll take the designer series paper, and there are 2 pieces of this, and they are cut 5 1/4 by 4 1/8. And for when we adhere these, I'm going to use the stripe because I like that with the theme of that plaid that we had out earlier. But we're going to put this right up against the fold. And then it's got a border on 3 of the sides. And we're going to do the same thing to the top section of the card. So stinking cute. When this card gets opened up, it's going to create a smile for sure. All right, so we'll do the same thing on top. And then we're going to take a piece of white that is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And that's just going to go right in the center here. And this, of course, would be for you to write your sentiment or stamp a sentiment, whatever, sign the card, whatever you need to do on the inside. So now we'll close it and just do a quick decoration on the front. We will take our rectangles now. We're going to add the first one up here in the upper left, leaving a nice border on top and the left-hand side. So it's right up there in the corner. Then we'll take the other one, and this will get adhered with the same borders on the bottom right, like this. So they'll overlap the corners in the middle, just like that. Then we're going to take a piece of this Orchid Oasis 1/8 inch ribbon, and it's metallic. It's really cool looking. And we're going to make a bow. So it's about 10 to 12 inches long. And I'm going to make 2 loops and cross them over and make my bow. And believe it or not, I am going to leave my loops really long like that. Then I'm going to put adhesive in the middle where those 2 plaid pieces meet. And I am going to put that bow on that adhesive at an angle. So it looks like this. And then bringing in our scallop, now we're going to stamp our sentiment on there. And so this is where the trick or treat comes in. I'm going to ink that up with Orchid Oasis ink. That's the little Stampin' Spot from the kit. And then I'm going to stamp my trick or treat in the middle there. And then I'm just going to grab the Memento ink, my black ink, and my spider stamp. And I'm going to ink up my spider, and he'll just be walking onto our label like that. That's cute. I never really think spiders are really that cute, except for Halloween projects. So, and I've had multiple big spiders here in my studio in recent months, and it's gross. It's gross. I hate them, but I deal with them, and then I'm fine. We can cohabitate as long as they don't show themselves. But here now I've put 4 of the glue or the dimensionals from the kit on the back, and then we're just going to cover up the knot on that bow so that we've just got those ends and the loops sticking out. Now this one got a little bit long, this tail, so I'll just trim it down a little bit. But I've made this card a few times already, and I haven't had to really trim that off depending on where your tails end up when you make your bow. And then the final addition to this will be the adhesive backed stars. So I'm just going to put a few of those in the orchid sections of the card. And there you go. Look at that. So cute. Adorable. I hope you've enjoyed this project today, this alternate paper pumpkin project. But again, I urge you to think about all of the ways that you can use this cute little pop-up with the window sheets. I think flowers would be cute. Birthday balloons would be cute. Snowflakes would be adorable. That was brought up by Shetty in our paper pumpkin party class when we had it. And I think like balls, like football, basketball, soccer ball, you know, that'd be cute in there. So think of the possibilities. It's such great fun to get creative with our projects. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you join me again next month for another alternate paper pumpkin project.